guys, you're in my fridge. Why are you in my fridge? It's because I am finally going to film that video I've been telling you guys about for a long time, and that's going to be my Keto Essentials. And a ton of them are in my refrigerator. So if you want to see the things that I like to make sure I always have on hand while I'm doing keto, then keep on watching. So for those of you who have been watching me, you want to have, this will be like no surprise to any of you, all the stuff I'm going to show you. But if you are new here, then I hope this will give you some information. Or if you're new to keto, this may give you some insight on some different products that you can pick up. One of them is the unsweetened almond milk. This is my preferred brand, the Cliffia Farms. I just like how it tastes. I am lucky in my area that I do have one store that tends to sell this for pretty cheap most weeks. And I don't usually have to buy it more than just every 2 weeks. I am not a fan of it in my coffee. A lot of people like it in their coffee. I just use it for baking. I use it for smoothies, that kind of thing. But this is one of my favorite brands. It's very clean. It has 3 fat, 1 net carbs of 1 gram of net carbs, and it's for an 8 fluid ounce, and then 1 protein. And these are the ingredients. So none of that bad stuff in there. So that is what I use, like I said, mostly for smoothies or for baking. Half and half is just one of those things that, oh, I need to get some. One of those things that I love to have in my coffee. But I do try to mix it up because half and half does have a little bit more carbs in it, because I do use like 3 tablespoons of it, but it's not bad. It's not too bad for you. There's the ingredients I do, but this is a local brand, so it doesn't have anything bad in it. It's just milk and cream. So I do, and just watch your labels on half and half. Some half and half have carrageenan in it. Some of it have corn syrup in it. So just be careful what you just keep an eye on your half and half and just look at the ingredients. But I do prefer this for coffee. So that's what I use it almost everything for. Heavy cream, I do like heavy cream though in my iced coffee. So hot coffee, iced coffee. This is a local brand for here. Again, heavy cream is another one of the ones that you want to check the ingredients to make sure it doesn't have any filler stuff. But if you have to buy those kind because it's cheaper, it's all in your area, that's fine. It's not a big deal. But you can see here the fat and the carbs. Okay, so you think, okay, you already have enough creamer for your coffee? No, I don't think so. These are 2 new ones that I discovered in the last month or so. This is the super creamer. This is in hazelnut. There's also vanilla and sweet cream. I cannot find the sweet cream in my area, so I only have tried the vanilla and the hazelnut, and I like them both about the same. What I like about this is it does have protein and MCT in it, so I do like to have this for one of my cups of coffee for the day. I do drink 2 to 3 cups of coffee a day, by the way. So here are the macros for that, the ingredients. So very clean, has 0 sugar, but there's protein, MCT oil, monk fruit, none of that stuff in there. So it's a really good creamer. I find mine at Safeway, which I know Safeway is not everywhere, but there's usually a chain, or like, whatever is in the same family as Safeway. But I know people have found them at Target. We don't have a Target here. So, I don't know, you can just look around for it. Maybe go online and look at the store locator and see if they can tell you where it's at. This is my newest find. This is the Stoke Fueled Creamer. I can only find this at my Walmart. Again, this has MCT and 5 grams of protein if you have 4 tablespoons. So you have to look at the small print on that, which 4 tablespoons is about what I use for this in my bigger cups of coffee. So here are the stats and the ingredients. I really like this. I honestly think these taste super similar. I kind of prefer the taste of this one a little bit better, but it is a smaller bottle. This was about $3.48 at my Walmart. This is $3.99 at my Safeway, and you do get more in this. So they're a little bit expensive. That's why I usually only stick with these for 1 cup of coffee. Use these for my other cups of coffee. So that's all for the milk type products. My salad dressings of choice are these 2. Now, of course, I do like to make my own salad dressings. I have made my own blue cheese and my own ranch. I typically make my own ranch, but sometimes I just don't have time to do that. So the Creamy Caesar from Ken's Steakhouse is probably my absolute favorite dressing. And my second one is the chunky blue cheese from Ken's. I do not like the Ken's ranch. I think it is nasty, so I always make my own ranch dressing. Yogurt. So you think you can't have yogurt on keto? Yes, you can. So I really like this Too Good yogurt. It only has 2 grams of sugar. Here are the stats. I like to pair this with granola, which you guys will see coming up soon. Cheese sticks are one of my the Colby Jack is one of my favorite cheese sticks to have, so I like to have these on hand for a snack. And of course I have other cheese too. I always shred my own cheese, so I usually buy a block of Monterey Jack, a block of mozzarella, and a block of Colby Jack, and I use that throughout the week, and I just shred it myself. Of course, eggs. I always try, now I'm going to emphasis on the try, to buy pasture-raised free-range eggs. However, there's some situations arise that you can't always do that, and like this last week I could not do that because I was trying to stock up because I'm homebound, and so I knew I could not afford to buy a bunch of pasture-raised eggs. I couldn't even really find them in my stores. I was going to compare prices, but there were not a lot in my stores available, so try to buy what you can. But eggs, of course, are a staple on keto. And then cream cheese is the last dairy product. I use cream cheese for a lot of things. For baking, I like to have it with salami. You can use it for there's so many recipes that call for cream cheese. So this is definitely a staple. And just so you know, Philadelphia does have the less carbs of any cream cheese than any of them. It has less carbs in it. And like I said, again, I'm lucky. I just have a local grocery store that sells a lot of this stuff for super cheap. And Philadelphia is usually only 10 cents more than the generic brand. So I usually just get the Philadelphia, but if you can't afford it, it's fine. I think that it's 2 grams of carbs usually on the generic brands. So don't feel like you have to buy the more expensive one because two carbs is not that bad. Snacks. Okay, so don't feel like you're seeing all this and you're like, lady, come on. Really, you need that many packaged snacks? It's not always packaged snacks. I just want to give you guys some options out there, especially if you're just starting out on keto. Sometimes you just really need to have a crunchy snack, and it needs to be packaged, especially as you're easing into keto. That's just my take on it. Again, it's completely up to you how you do it, but I just want to show you some of my favorite snacks. Okay, so I like to have a salami and pepperoni with cheese. That's one of my favorite snacks to have. Just snack on some of these with some cream cheese or cheese stick, something like that. I do have salami and pepperoni quite often as a snack. My probably next favorite snack are nuts. I have to be careful with nuts because I can overeat them. So I really like the Blue Diamond nuts. Now these do have maltodextrin or dextrose. I can't remember which one they have in here. I always have people remind me whenever they see them on here. So I think they have some sugar, some of them have dextrose, but they're still only 2 net carbs. So how this affects you is your body. If you want to, decide not to have them, you can have plain raw almonds also. But again, if you just want something that has flavor in it once in a while, then do that. I don't eat these every day. Also, macadamias is one of my other favorite snacks. These are one of the lowest nuts that you can have on keto. So they're only, what is that? This package is only 2 net carbs. So, I mean, they're really low in carbs, and I really like macadamias. Let's see, this is the newest, snack mix that I found at Costco, so I just want to bring it up and just mention it because they are carrying this right now, and it is really good, and this has lasted me for a long time. I'm just now down here at the bottom, and I'm not the only one that eats this in my household, so just know that it lasts for quite a while. But it's really good. It has macadamias, pecans, pepitas, almonds, cheese balls, has keto certified on there, which I don't know if is always accurate, by the way. Only 2 net carbs. Here are the ingredients, so pretty clean ingredients. So nuts and those kind of things are definitely an option. One of my favorite snacks is one of those Too Good yogurts with some granola and some nut butter. So I'll show you my favorite nut butters. This granola is absolutely amazing. I will have it linked down below. I don't have any code or anything for it, but it's only 2 grams of net carbs. It is so good. You can get it on Amazon or on their website. And then another one I found recently was this one from the Granola Bakery. I found it on Amazon just recently. I was actually going to replenish this one because it's almost gone, and I saw this one on here, and I always like to try out new brands. The price was about the same actually, and even both the bags are 11 ounces, so there really wasn't much difference between the size or the cost or anything. This one is only 1 gram of net carb though, and the ingredients are super clean. So there you go. So I like to have the 2 Good yogurt with a serving of granola, and then a tablespoon of nut butter. And my favorite nut butters that I always like to have on hand, these are definitely my essential nut butters. So I have to go buy some more of this. So the Santa Cruz Organic, this only has, so this is peanut butter by the way, this only has 2 grams of net carbs, and look at the ingredients. So this is really comparable to the Walmart organic peanut butter, which is also 2 grams of net carbs, but my Walmart does not sell that. They do sell it online, but I went to go purchase some the other day when somebody tipped me off that they had it on sale and it was in stock. As soon as I ordered it, tried to check out, they told me it was out of stock. So it sells out quickly online, but they don't sell it in my store. But this I can pick up, but this has been out of stock in my stores for the last 3 weeks, and I am very upset about it because look. But a good backup is the Kirkland creamy almond butter. Again, oops. Ingredients, only almonds. The carbs, where are they? Total carbs are 6, dietary fiber 4, so 2 net carbs for this, and it's really good as well. This is a new find, but it is super good. This is called Nutso. These are the ingredients in there. 2 net carbs, so I have had this with the yogurt as well. My preferred thing with the yogurt is peanut butter. Peanut butter with the granola over the yogurt is definitely my preferred way to have it. Now, if you're looking for, another thing I like to have, pickles. I absolutely love pickles. I adore them. I usually have a pickle with the lunch when I have the pepperoni and the salami and the cheese. Usually a pickle is on that plate as well. And also another thing along those lines are meat sticks. I love meat sticks. I usually always have them on hand. So this is a jalapeno flavored one from Larissa's Kitchen. I get these at Grocery Outlet. This one is really good, 100% grass fed. Here are the macros and the ingredients. So if you are just needing though a really crunchy snack to remind you that you are not missing out on chips or crackers, I do have some alternatives for those that are some of my favorites. A newer find are these Flackers. I found these in the health food section of my local grocery store. They have sweet and savory. I saw 3 different flavors at my store. I really like these with cream cheese on top. Super good with cream cheese. Another one are these Quest protein chips. I actually like to use these for nachos. I just put them on a plate, add some cheese, add some ground beef, add some sour cream, guacamole, you know, that salsa, that kind of thing. They make really good chips. Here are the macros on those. And then another thing are these wisps. Now these ones are the bacon barbecued cheese crisp. These are 2 carbs. I really like these. You can get ones that are 0 carbs, but I do like ones that have flavor versus just the cheese ones. I don't know, I prefer them that way. But these are good on salads, plus also good for just snacking when you just kind of want a, you know, cracker chip type thing. Another thing I have just discovered is moon cheese. I've been finding these at my Grocery Outlet because they did do a whole rebranding and repackaging. So they sent all their old stuff to Grocery Outlet. So check your Grocery Outlet because it seems like all over the United States they are having them in there. This is the Pepper Jack. The Pepper Jack and the Gouda are by far my favorites. These are super good. I hope I haven't said super good a million times in this video. And then lastly are pork rinds. Okay, I know. You're saying to yourself right now, I always told myself I would never eat pork rinds. I never liked them before. I'm talking about myself. You may be saying the same thing. However, I didn't know there's such thing as like flavored ones. So this is from the Epic brand, which again, these have some of the cleaner ones. There's also that brand you can get. I know Costco has them in Target. Again, I don't have a Target. That 451, I don't know what it is. Anyway, those ones are really clean also, but you just get what you can get. There are the macros on those and the ingredients. but I really like the barbecue, the salt and pepper, and the chili lime of the Epic. So good. Again, I find these at my grocery outlet, so check it out and see if you have them there. The jalapeno ones were I wasn't as big of a fan of the jalapeno ones, but these also, I get the plain ones. I get the Max plain ones to use as breading. I've used them for like chicken nuggets and like chicken tenders, those kind of things. They are so good for breading. But it works really well. I do have a couple videos on that. I'll see if I can remember to link the videos down below where I use pork rinds for breading. So here, plenty of snacks, you guys. You really be surprised on how many snacks you can have while on keto, and they really do satisfy things that you may have been missing. Next up are breads. So I did a whole video on keto breads. I will link that down below, and that was making some different bread recipes, and I was telling you which ones I liked. So you can check that video out. I will also try to remember to put up in the iCards above, which come up, I believe they're on this side over here, but I also have it linked down below. But these are some alternatives that you can buy in the stores. So this one is from Franz, which Franz is very central, I think, to Pacific Northwest, and it may branch out to a couple other states. So I don't know if you will be able to find this in your stores or not. But this is a 0 net carb bread. Does not have the best ingredients. I find it at my Safeway. Also at Costco, they have the 2 big packs at Costco, so I put them in the freezer. They don't have the best ingredients, but if you just really need a slice of bread, then this is good in a pinch. I do prefer this toasted. I don't really like it not toasted. It just has a weird taste to me, but when you toast it, it tastes really good. Now I know Aldi has a 0 net carb bread, but I don't have an Aldi in my state, so this is the only one option for me. And again, I just put them in the freezer and I just take out the slices as I need them. But I have been, I was using this to make some French toast the other day, and so I did have it out of the freezer, but it does freeze very, very well. Wraps. So these are 2 different kinds of wraps. This is a spinach and herb from Mission. They're carb balanced ones. This one is 3 net carbs. You can get also a like white tortilla ones that are 4 net carbs. Those are really good too. And this one is the whole wheat, also 3 net carbs. You can also, there's a couple other brands, but the Mission is by far my favorite of all the ones that I have been able to find that are keto friendly. Baking stuff. Okay, so for most all baking, you're going to use almond flour. So almost all keto stuff is going to have almond flour or coconut flour. This is the kind of almond flour I prefer. This is the Kirkland kind. So from Costco, you get it's a 3-pound bag, and it's like $13.99 or something. It's insane how much you get. And then the other one is coconut flour. I just get this usually at grocery outlet. They usually have big packages for pretty cheap, and I just put it in my jar, so I don't have the brand, but just look around. I mean, there's a ton of different brands of coconut flour. So there's that. And then also a lot of recipes call for some sort of unflavored whey protein, and this has been my favorite. I love how it bakes up when I cook it. It's really reasonable priced. I got it off of Amazon, but that's all it is. It's just unflavored. They do have flavored stuff too. I've not tried any of their flavored ones, so I can't speak on those, but this is definitely an essential for me to have on hand for baking when it calls for some sort of protein powder, and a lot of keto baking does. Another thing I like to use in a lot of keto baking or even cooking is coconut oil. So this is just, I do prefer to get the organic if I can. I've just heard good things about organic coconut oil, but I don't think it's a necessity. Another thing you'll see a lot is they'll ask for flaxseed meal. I usually get I think I do have the package of this. It's a Bob's Red Mill, I believe is the kind that I've gotten most of the time for flax seeds. So it's just a meal, and you can use it in a lot of baking. It gives you more of a feel of like whole wheat. If you like whole wheat bread and you miss it, then any recipes that call for this, it does give you that kind of feel. Sweeteners. So I use a different sweetener for baking than I do for my coffee. We'll be doing a drink section here soon, and so I will show you what I prefer to use in my coffee. But for baking, I like the Lakanto monk fruit sweetener. I don't have any bags. Again, I get those at Costco. I get the granular, just regular sugar, like it's supposed to be just like sugar at Costco. It's like $8.99 for a big, huge bag. They also have a golden one, and it's supposed to be like brown sugar. I get this at Grocery Outlet for really cheap. It's like $5.99 for a little bit smaller bag than what the Costco one is. But you just use this like in place of like brown sugar. And then a powdered sugar replacement, I like the Swerve mainly because that's what I can find in my area. And this is just a confectioner's replacement. It's really good. So that's really my baking essentials, besides baking powder, baking soda, spices, that kind of thing. But this really is the things I have to have on hand when I'm doing any keto baking. Kind of the baking, but also just cooking in general, is Himalayan pink salt. I do use this for all of my baking, all of my cooking, and it is a really, really good, healthy salt. It has everything in it that you need as far as electrolytes that you may be missing, different minerals and everything. It's such a good salt for you. So check it out. Do some research on Himalayan pink salt, and you will see it. I usually get this at Grocery Outlet. It's really cheap at Grocery Outlet and at Costco. Drinks. Now, I do try to drink water first. I don't always do it, but I do try to do it. But I like to have other things on hand to drink. Sometimes I can, if I'm craving anything, or if I feel like I'm going to I'm just having one of those days where I'm having a lot of cravings, or, you know, maybe just for some reason, you know, hormonally I'm wanting something, or you just had a bad day. Sometimes I can just grab a drink, you know, coffee, one of these drinks, some tea, whatnot, and sometimes that'll just satisfy my craving. So I do like to have a lot of drinks on hand. One thing I really like to have is Zip Fizz. Again, this is another one of those things that just helps you replenish your electrolytes. I just get these. I got my first pack at Costco that had the orange, the fruit punch, and the grape. And then I bought these ones on Amazon, the black cherry. They have a ton of different flavors on Amazon. So I picked those up, and these are really good. I try not to have more than one of these a day. They are 2 net carbs. Tea, I try to buy a few different flavored teas to have on for the week. This is just one of them I've picked up recently, but I do enjoy tea once in a while. As far as sodas, I do drink diet soda once in a while. I'm not going to say I don't, because I do. Sometimes I have it several times a week. I do, though, try to pick up some healthier alternatives to the regular diet soda, and so Zevia is one of those. It's just super expensive in my stores, so I do pick up some of them. So far, I like the cherry cola. I like the grapefruit. I wasn't a fan of the Mountain Zevia, supposed to be like Mountain Dew, was not my favorite, but these have good ingredients, they're clean and whatnot. But every once in a while I do just have a regular, you know, Diet Pepsi or something, because it's cheaper than buying these. This is a new discovery, these AHA drinks. There's a ton of different flavors. So far I like all the ones that I've tried. This one is the peach honey. They're from Coca-Cola. There's a ton of flavors, and they are probably my favorite so far is the blueberry pomegranate. It is amazing, but this one is super good as well. And they're pretty affordable. And I am not a huge fan of sparkling waters, honestly. I have only found a couple LaCroix that I like. I have not ever tried the Waterloo. I've not tried the Kirkland ones either. But there's one other brand that people drink all the time. I cannot remember what it is. But it's hard for me to find sparkling waters that I like. And this AHA brand, I really like them. The sparkling ice, so these are flavored waters. I pick these up several times a week. But the peach nectarine and the pineapple are probably 2 of my favorites. And then coffee. You guys know my love for coffee. I already told you guys I drink 2 to 3 cups of coffee a day. It's just my guilty pleasure. I have an espresso machine, a small one. They're one of the originals, so I do pick up espresso pods. So that's what all those are. Definitely for me, an essential. I also love Bones coffee. You guys know a bunch of us talk about Bones coffee all the time. It is as good as we talk about, honestly. I do have a code down below, but I also drink regular coffee too, but I have a ton of different flavors of the Bones coffee. As far as what I put in my coffee, now you already saw I showed you the half and half and all the creamers. I love the Jordan Skinny Syrups. This one is by far my favorite. I found it randomly one day in Marshall's, and now I'm just so addicted to it. Salted dark chocolate espresso. And then I love putting collagen in one of my cups of coffee for the day. This is probably my absolute favorite collagen, and I've tried it a lot, you guys. You guys know I've been using collagen for many years, even way before keto. So this is not anything new for me, but this brand is new for me, and I adore it. You guys know how much I love this and how many I've tried, and this stuff is good. It also has MCT powder in it too, which is what makes it good for keto. This is the chocolate. I have the chocolate and the vanilla. Amazing. And I will have any products linked down below that I talk about in this video. As far as sweetener for my coffee, this is my sweetener choice. This is the Pure. It's a stevia erythritol blend. For some reason, this is the only stevia erythritol blend though that I like. I tried one recently because my stores were out of Pure. So I tried another one recently and it was not good. This stuff, I don't know if just the proportions of it, how they put it in there, but I don't know. This stuff is by far the best blend that I have been able to find. So let's talk meat and produce. I didn't want to pull out all my meat because it really, as far as meat goes, I do like to have chicken, and I do prefer any of them. I like chicken breast I use for certain recipes. I use chicken tenderloins for certain recipes. They're really good for chicken strips. I like ground chicken to use for chicken nuggets and for meatloafs and things like that. I like ground turkey. I like chicken thighs and chicken legs. I use stew meat for beef stew or for steak bites. I do like to have sausage once in a while. Bacon. I like to have bacon. So really all the meat. I like ham. I'm trying to think of any meat that I don't like organ meats. Like I don't like liver. No. Don't like that. I don't like fish. I don't like seafood. Never been a seafood fan, so I don't eat seafood. But pretty much all those meats, I mean, it's just, I didn't want to, like I said, pull them all out. I don't really have like a kind that I always have, you know, so it's just meat is meat. Produce, again, I don't have a lot of produce on hand right now because it's towards the end of the week, but probably my favorite things to always have on hand, I love butter lettuce. So I buy butter lettuce and I mix it with spring mix. So I like to have spring mix and butter lettuce, two of my favorite lettuces. I like to have spinach once in a while. I'm not a huge fan of spinach. I'm just really not. I try to like it because I know they say, oh, it's so good for you, but I'm not a huge fan of spinach. But I will put it in smoothies once in a while, or I'll throw it, mix it with my mixed salad. Zucchini, love zucchini. I like to have zucchini in my omelets. I like to saute it up as a side. I like to have zucchini zoodles. I love zucchini. Asparagus, I like it okay, but it's not like one of my favorites. I like it roasted, mixed with a bunch of other veggies. Brussels sprouts, again, another one of those things where I don't mind having once in a while, but it's not one of my essentials for sure. But also a huge essential for me is avocados. I buy avocados every week. Tomatoes, and I especially like the little tomatoes, so I buy these every week. I throw those in my salad. What are some other produce are essential to me? Berries. I do like to have strawberries and blueberries when they're on sale, which they never are in my area, but and raspberries. So raspberries, blueberries, and strawberries are probably my favorite, and they are the lowest carb fruit. I think spaghetti squash. I really like spaghetti squash. I haven't had it for a while, but I love spaghetti squash. And probably the last two, well, three. So onions, I like to put onions in for flavor. I like green onions on my salads. Radishes are super good roasted. I never realized how good radishes were roasted. I like them raw in salads though too, but they are so good roasted. A lot of people use radishes in place of potatoes in certain recipes. I use it in my stew, and I think it's amazing in my stew. And green beans. I really like green beans. So I like them mixed up with a little bit of bacon and oil and saute them in a pan or roasting them. Green beans, amazing. The last meat item I wanted to bring up are sausages. I really like these Adele sausages. I like to have these just grilled up and just eating them with some vegetables, or sometimes I just grill them up and just eat them for lunch. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you're not subscribed, I hope you'll take a moment to do so. Let me know down in the comment section, what are your keto essentials? What are things that you have to buy every single week, always have in your cupboard, always have in your fridge, always have in your freezer? Let me know, because we all want to hear it. Let's just learn from each other. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.